you and Art of Dialogue, I feel like that they were, inspired by you. But well, so y'all are in the same lane, and I was hoping you guys were gonna have an amicable solution.
Shout out to Reggie Wright Jr. He put us on the phone together.
Oh, really? Yeah. How'd that go?
Well, what had happened was, I think I did an interview on, was it Straight Ballin', or what was the name of Reggie? I feel bad about doing this, but there was a platform that Reggie's involved in.
Okay.
It was like a Tupac related YouTube channel. I feel really bad about, because I did an interview for them, and they brought up the Art of Dialogue question, and I just said, which is what I've always said, was I respect what he does. He's gotten a lot of really dope interviews. He's gotten some people that I've wanted to interview myself that he's done good interviews with. My problem is that when you look at the thumbnails, it basically looks so similar to a Vlad TV thumbnail, and they don't put their logo on there, right? They used to put their logo on there, but then they hit this point where they don't put their logo on there. So at first glance, it's very easy to confuse one with the other. You even said it. You could some of the interviews I've had. I've seen this over and over again, right? So my thing is like, and then he responded and said, that's not true. No one's ever confused the two, and blah, blah.
No, I definitely did.
And I was like,
if I didn't know you, I probably wouldn't find them. And I'm happy that I found them. And by the way, I share their clips all the time now too. And
Art's got good interviews. So when when he responded to me, which was the first time he ever responded, I told Reggie, I said, why don't you put us on the phone together?
Really?
Yeah, and he said, let me reach out to him. He goes, nah, he's upset over what you said, and he feels it's affecting his business and whatever else. I said, all right, cool. I left it alone. But then out of the blue, maybe like a month ago, Reggie's like, hey, man, Art's kind of gotten over that feeling, and he actually wants to get on the phone with you. So I was like, great. That's what I wanted, months ago. So we got on the phone, and the first thing I said was, listen, bro, like, I respect what you do. I think you've had great interviews. I've never criticized your content on any level. You've interviewed Tupac's dad. And, I've always wanted to do that interview myself, and you did a great job of it. My only thing is that you don't put your logo on your thumbnails, and that's what causes the confusion. Like, just, if you just have a logo of any sort on the thumbnails, it differentiates yours from mine. And I understand that the font that I use is probably common, and I don't own that font. I can't tell someone not to use a font, but when you leave the logo out completely from the thumbnail, a sense of confusion happens.
By the way, and in your case, the reason why a lot of people confuse that, and we've had a talk about that, because even when people, and I remember even talking to my team that runs, I have a secondary Instagram account and a secondary Twitter account that's ran by people. So that's the only thing that I don't have to approve. They could just post on it, right? And I tell them, I said, listen, if y'all post Vlad, do not crop out his motherfucking logo, right? That's the thing.
Well, anything associated with you out there.
No. I know, but still, like, they're, I'm not, I like having complete oversight, but I'm not watching everything that, so like, I wanted to kind of like build because I can't look at every post. I'm looking at business these days. So anyway, the reason why I confused Art of Dialogue stuff with you at first is that I knew that there would be times that people posted your content and cropped it out conveniently. They would crop it out or put their logo. Right. So I'm like, okay, I know this kind of format. This is a guy who does these type of interviews. If I see that, that's a Vlad interview, because I don't see a brand that I know.
Right.
So yeah, people like me were confused. That's what I'm trying to say.
Exactly. So, and I said, listen, bro, that's my only issue. And he goes, I understand that. I respect that. I said, he said from now on.
He was very okay. Cool.
He said from now on, I'm gonna put my logo on there. And he goes, and he said, I respect what you did coming up. I was watching your interviews and everything else like that. But I understand where you're coming from, and I'm gonna put my logo on there. And if you look at all of the clips for the past month, they all have his logo on there. And I'm like, great. And then he's like, yeah, man, and he's like, yo, I really want to do an interview with you. I'm like, cool. So he goes, yeah, I'm going to be out in LA later this summer. Let's sit down and actually do it. I'm like, great. I'm down because I support platforms. You see what I'm saying? So that was it. I had one gripe. He addressed that gripe. So there was no reason to have a gripe anymore. And that's why I went and made a tweet about it, because people had been kind of talking about it, who kind of, you know, and you know, we all have fans. Some people say his shit's better than my shit, or my shit's better than his shit. Who cares? But that's why I publicly said, yeah, you know, whatever issues we had, we squashed. I didn't go into any details. And I said, you know, look for an art, you know, interview, you know, later this year sometime.
No,
Which mimics, and he retweeted it and was like, yo, you know, good looking out. And then, yeah, just a grown man conversation. That's it. That's all it took.
Hey, I love both of you guys' platforms. You know, obviously you're the OG, the king of this shit, and you just have a plethora and a catalog of information. But he's doing his thing too, and I kind of go from both you guys' interviews. Shit, I see Roger Bonds on your shit. If I see Gene Deal on him, I'm over here trying to like.
We all have our
great.
regular guests. We all have the people that we fuck with. I forgot where he lives. So, but yeah, at the end of the day, I get it, and I just wanted to be heard, and he heard me, and you know, and it wasn't like a fuck you.
I'm glad it wasn't that.
No, but it shouldn't be. It never was going to be like that. It was going to be the same conversation had it happened like 6 months ago. Exactly. You just didn't want to have it at that point. And it is what it is.